Good morning, everybody. How are we doing? I think you're feeling better than I am. Had a day off. Who puts festivals on a Sunday? Seriously, should be a crime. Anyway, it's going to be another big week here, I think, in United People's TV towers. Last week was genuinely bonkers, wasn't it? Really, really was. This week, the beginning of the build-up to the Premier League. Arsenal on Sunday. We play Fiorentina at the weekend. What's going on with Carlos Baleba? What about Rasmus Hojlund? Will he be leaving? What about the rest of the bomb squad? So stupid they got called the bomb squad. Or simply the players that United want to get rid of. Garnacho, Sancho. Any other signings? We'll speak about Donnarumma. We'll speak about goalkeepers. Last week really was crazy. I don't know whether this week's going to be as mad. Surely not. I don't know. Can't rule it out. Right? Someone's saying, Baleba, here we go soon. Let's not get crazy. All right? United want it to happen. And if United get their own way, I think we sign Carlos Baleba this summer. Whether they get their own way remains to be seen. I'm going to run through all the latest news, get involved in the chat. Let me see who's here from the mods and the members gang. Whew. And let's get on with today's show. You look hungover. I am hungover. And get until 2 a.m. Festivals on Sunday. Unbelievable. Right, let's see who's here. And good morning to you. Josh, good morning to you as well. Carl, I can see you there too, as always. We've got Tony. We've got Big Perm. We've got Steve. We've got Lyle. We've got Dylan, Liam, Mr. Mency, Billington. Good morning to everyone. We had a cracking weekend. What'd you get up to? We'll speak about the game as well. Donnarumma, he'll get mentioned later in the show. It's going to be a busy one. But let's start with this, right? Yesterday, I didn't even see what the result was. And I was at West Ham Station. And I saw a few Crystal Palace fans. I was like, what was the result? 2-2, 1 on pens. Liverpool are going to be, like, if you play FIFA online, Liverpool's going to be the team you are. Because, well, unless you're a United fan. Because their attack is, on paper, ridiculous. But that team's definitely going to have frailties. It's going to be like they win every game 4-3 sort of season for them right now. Someone's saying they had a wedding on Saturday and they're still hungover. Well, give me a little bit of sympathy here this morning. Hojlund, I don't know why anyone's really mentioning Hojlund. Literally never been linked once. Yeah, Salah's penalty was bad. I liked, as much as I think he's a bit of a twat. Dean Henderson, a little celebration there with the doffing the hat. Got a lot of time for that. Anyway, it's going to be interesting watching Liverpool this season. Isn't it mad, though, right? You know what's going to happen, especially if United somehow get Baleba. They're going to be talking about United doing this, United spending everyone, Newcastle fans, the top 6 cartel, blah, blah, blah. But there will never be another Leicester situation, I don't think. I suppose you would have said the same thing about there never being a Leicester situation in the first place. But you've got the league winners spending, 300 million. You've got every team around them. How many teams this summer, don't actually know off the top of my head because I haven't looked. How many teams this summer are going to be spending north of 200 mil in the Prem? It's got to be a record, isn't it? Liverpool have done it. Chelsea have done it. Have City done it yet? Can't remember who they've signed. They probably will. Arsenal have done it. United will have done it by the time we're finished. It's just crazy. It really is crazy. Someone's saying it's less competitive every year. Last year wasn't competitive because City completely fell off. United were crap. Arsenal were Arsenal. And Liverpool just kind of ran away with it. But yeah, anyway. Just thought I'd throw that one out there. Do you want to see? This has to be one of the most random transfers of this summer. Savinho to Spurs. Where'd that come from? Why is City selling him? Just a really random transfer. Really random transfer. Chris, I don't care about net spend. I'm not here having a conversation about net spend. I mean that in a rude way. Just simply talking about the outlay that's going. It doesn't matter. But they sold for. I don't care. Just simply clubs at the very top. They are investing big every single summer, and if you don't, you get left behind. Doesn't matter how many players you sell. That was a really random one. The amount of additions could negatively affect Liverpool. Anyway, really random. But sod that. Let's talk about United. Right. Fiorentina. I think United were better in the last half an hour. I did sort of 5 things we learned yesterday. What would you say was just a quick little couple-minute conversation? What would you say is the biggest positive from that game, and I suppose the biggest concern you had? Biggest positive. I really, really liked Mbeumo's crosses. Might be a bit of a weird thing to say, but he literally was, in all the Premier League last season, nobody put more crosses in than Mbeumo. The fact that we've signed, well, that's Carrington. The fact that we've signed a 6'5" striker who can leap like a salmon, and we've got the most prolific crosser in the Premier League, it should be a weapon for United. And you know what I think it'll be really good against, actually, right? Randomly just thought of this. Low blocks. You know how, for a long time now, United have always struggled against low blocks. Having a combo like Mbeumo swinging in across and Šeško coming in the back post, that's a way to get round a low block. Just randomly thought that. Let me see what you're saying about the Fiorentina game. And then, that's bloody Carrington again. Oh, God. State of me. Attack looked good, but lacked the big guy in the middle. Well, it was definitely a message from, pretty clear message from being completely obvious. Hojlund sitting on the bench when you've got Mount starting up front. Anti saying positive looking good with link-up play. Midfield still doesn't look right, and then midfield won't look right until we sign someone, right? Yeah, I did hear about that behind closed doors friendly. We'll cover that later in the show. Winning the ball back, someone said down there. Positive is Mbeumo. Šeško's going to eat. I think he's definitely looking forward to playing for United, I'll tell you that. Hey, man, you're saying if we go for a goalkeeper, it should be Le Mans and not Donnarumma. You got wages issue with PSG. We'll speak about that a little bit later in the show. Someone's saying we have to sell Casemiro. Well, you're kind of preaching to the choir there. You know what? It's not that I want to force Casemiro out of the club, but it's just he is not the long-term future, or I would actually argue even the short-term future for Manchester United's midfield. If Manchester United were able to sell Casemiro, if there were clubs that wanted to sign Casemiro, he would have already been sold. There aren't any. Therefore, he's going to stay. And fingers crossed he can have a swan song. Fingers crossed he can find that form that he showed in the Europa League and just surprise us. I don't think it's going to happen. I know exactly what to expect with Casemiro this season. I hope I'm pleasantly surprised. Leave Cas alone. Oh, leave Casemiro alone. Oh. What, like I'm bullying him? I'm talking about a multi-Champions League winner who's had an incredible career and is on the other side of the hill. Leave him alone. Sorry, got Casemiro's cousin in the comments. Anyway, Šeško's first interview is going out with the club today. Looking forward to seeing what he says. What is the alternative if we don't get Baleba? Well, we don't need to speak about the alternative right now. We're just going to speak about Baleba. That was probably one of the was that the craziest live we had last week? I mean, it probably was. I just did not expect it to be a conversation that we were having this summer. Now, I'm seeing headlines, videos, titles, all personal terms agreed. If I was wearing glasses, I'd be putting them down like that. They'd be like, where's that coming from then? Right. So we really have reached a point where people are running with headlines and titles based off a tweet from Indy Kyler. Are you? What sort of dystopian universe are we living in here? Oh yeah, but you got sure. He got credited by Ornstein, but if you ever think I'm ever going to run with a headline based off that, you are losing the plot. Absolutely losing the plot. What I will cover, well, actually, in the lunchtime video today, I'll do a full story on the Baleba stuff and kind of what's being reported. I just want to run through the latest from Fabrizio last night and what he said on him, right? Because it's pretty exciting, being honest.
But in the next days, contacts will continue for Carlos Baleba. I keep mentioning there is a difficult deal. I keep mentioning that there is a really tough negotiation with Brighton. But I also keep mentioning that Man United remain in contact with the agents. They did that on Friday, they did that on Saturday, they did that on Sunday, also in the recent hours. So Manchester United remain in active talks on player side.
So that's the latest from Fabrizio on what's going on with Baleba. In contact all weekend. We can see what's playing out here, right? United are not out to make friends with Brighton here. United are trying to disrupt Baleba. You could say it's sneaky. You could say it's underhand. Well, apparently you're allowed to do it now. I literally don't know what the rules are anymore. I really have no idea what the rules are anymore. Because to me, like, I'd be fuming if somebody was doing that with, let's say, Cobby. Somebody was speaking with Cobby's camp, trying to disrupt him, trying to get him to hand in a transfer request. I'd be pissed off. I would be. But that's what United are doing. And also, and I think this is quite important, right? I think this is quite important. If Baleba wasn't a possibility, I think United would already know. If we needed to look at alternatives, and by the way, we'll have alternatives lined up. We don't know who they are, but the club will have that internally. But I think United would already now have ruled themselves out of anything to do with Baleba if that was the noise that was coming out of his camp. And I really don't think that is the noise. Our personal terms agree that. Show me anyone with any sort of credibility that has said he's agreed personal terms. And don't come at me with an IndyCarlia tweet, because I will not take you seriously. All right? I think that's probably the most exciting part. The fact that it's not been ruled out over the weekend. Let me see what you're saying down here in the chat. It's a really dumb question there from Ruben saying, would you consider Cobby for Baleba swap deal? Why do you make such stupid hypothetical questions up? No. And no. Do you think United should sign a seasoned 30-plus backup striker? No. Don't think so. I'll speak about Hojlund soon. Yeah, look, Sylvester, it is tapping up. This is kind of the point. I'm just so confused as to what is allowed and what isn't allowed anymore. I think it is tapping up. But apparently you can do it. I don't know what the actual rules are in the Premier League. Ayman saying Baleba must be here in United wherever he goes. Clearly, he is. I think we'll know either way, probably by the time the Arsenal game kicks off. Like whether there's any actual genuine possibility of us signing him. Let me see what he's saying down here, right? Let's do a poll. See if the opinions of United fans have changed. Do you think United will sign Baleba this summer? Yes or no? Right? Nothing about price. Just yes or no. Let me go and read some of your chats out. Ornstein crediting IndyCarlia has given him another 10 years of relevance. But you're never going to see me run with a headline from him. I mean, come on. It's just desperate. So desperate to sort of be first to the news. So desperate. It's unbelievable. Hear me out. Would you take a Dominic Calvert-Lewin on a free? Somebody ban Mr. Biddington down there. Do I think that those two could work together? Mainu and Baleba is insane. That's a midfield partnership you're looking at. That's that best part of 10 years as long as they both stay fit. That's the perfect blend. I'm telling you, that's Cobby's future at Manchester United, is to step into the shoes of Bruno Fernandes when he leaves. That's, for me, the pathway is quite obvious and quite clear with Cobby. So this season, you're not going to see Cobby start every single game. There might be some games you don't actually see Bruno start, which is probably, I think Bruno does start. I don't know. Anyway, that's the pathway I see. So, yeah, mate, Baleba and Cobb, that's just disgusting. That's disgusting. I'll speak about sales just after we finish this conversation on Baleba. How can we get him? Someone's saying down there. Well, you can see what's going here. You can see what the plan is. United want to turn his head so much that Baleba puts pressure on Brighton from within. Hi, lads. I want to join United. Can you please try and facilitate that this summer? It comes out. Ornstein tweets it. Excitement builds. Pressure on Brighton. Then from Brighton fans. Basically, we're trying to squeeze Brighton in any way that we can. We're definitely not making friends. We're definitely not making friends with Brighton. But screw it. I don't care about whether clubs like us or not. Of course, you're going to have to... There's only so far you can go. Because you need to have working relationships with clubs. I'm not just saying just be an arsehole to everybody. But winners are ruthless. That is being ruthless. Kind of going under the table. Trying to squeeze Baleba. Probably shouldn't have said it like that. Who's else is name down here? Would United get a fiver tapping up? Look, I can't answer that because I don't know what tapping up is anymore. I really don't. But hi Sam, what will United's plan with Kone be since he wasn't sent on loan? Maybe that might change if we do get Baleba in. I think he needs a loan. I think the fact that he was taken on the pre-season tour meant one of two things. One, Ruben Amorim loves him. Oh, actually, no. Ruben Amorim sees him as part of his first team plans. Or two, he just wanted to take him so he had the experience of being involved in a pre-season tour. That's what it was. All right? So therefore, I don't think you're really going to be seeing much, if any, of Kone in United's first team, and especially not if you sign this man. What are you saying down here? Jordan, you're saying that I think it depends on sales too. Difficult but not impossible. I think that's pretty much a fair way to sum it up. Difficult but not impossible. And the fact that we are still sort of having conversations with his agents every day over the weekend, a few days after the initial interest was shown, he's not said no. It's the hangover talking. But Johnny's saying, are the Premier League allowing this as players have so much say now over where they play? Yeah, I don't know. Look, transfers have changed. How transfers happen has changed. The emergence of Fabrizio and the power that gives agents to steer narratives among fans. They never had access to that before. It was simply a journalist thing. It was like you go to your established journalists, they get briefs from the club. You get briefs from the agents as well. But with social media now, it plays out in real time. I think that's why some people get so exhausted with transfers. Because you get so many more updates. Even micro updates. Sometimes 2 steps back updates. All the time, 24/7. Until a transfer is done. Who was it? Was it Porto unveiled Luke de Jong? And he just walked out the tunnel. And no one even knew that he'd signed for them. It's quite impressive being able to do that in this day and age. You think somebody would know about it. There's talk of Madrid coming in for him. Do you see him going there? Really? Who is him? Do Madrid really need him? I suppose Madrid are just greedy. And you know what as well, right? I will say this. And I'm definitely saying this as a compliment. Baleba and Mbumo, Sesko and Cunha. That's just straight up greedy, man. How dare you, United? How dare you have a summer like that? You finished 15th. It feels greedy. It feels like what the top clubs can do. Brighton's best player, yoink. Brentford's best player, yoink. Wolves' best player, yoink. It's going to piss them off. And people are going to look at United and just be angry about it. But that's what winners do. That's why we did that video saying about the strategy this summer and the double-edged sword you get with signing established, ready-made Premier League players, but also at the same time, you're weakening rivals. Well, I say rivals. Right now, bloody everyone's our rival because we finished 15th. But weakening the opposition, weakening the league at the same time as strengthening yourself is like a double step upwards. Hence why it's sometimes worth it. What else are you saying down there? People hate United more now. This is, I suppose, big club energy, right? It's what the best and the established can do. They can do stuff that other clubs just simply can't ever do. That's how United are acting this summer. And if we get Baleba, if we get him, I think it's probably the club's best ever summer in terms of signings, isn't it? The one that always sticks in my mind is 2007-8. I think we signed Anderson, Nani, Hargreaves, and Tevez. I think that was 2000. Was that 2007? I think that was 2007-8. Obviously, had a cracking season that season. But I do genuinely think if we were to get Baleba, that this summer would beat that on paper. I suppose the reason that 07-08 was because of how the careers of those players panned out. Finishing 15th was a blessing. Look at the signings we've made. I don't think these signings are happening because we finished 15th. I think these signings are happening because Ineos are not pissing around. They're really, really not. They always had this. You know how we were sort of told, and I like this. Again, I like this. It feels like Ineos are sort of have been feeding a certain, I don't know. We heard about plan A and plan B going into this summer. If we had Champions League football, if we didn't have Champions League football. If this is the plan without Champions League football, who the bloody hell were we going to sign if we actually got into the Champions League? I think they were lying to everybody. And I mean that in a good way, because then no one actually knows what to expect from United. Oh, United are desperate. Nah, lads. You do not want to call us desperate. Because we are not. And narrative's important. It's not agenda. That agenda's the wrong word. The narrative, it's controlling what your people's perception of you is. That's kind of really important in a transfer window. Unfortunately, we're still hampered by the sales, and I'll speak about sales next. Let me see what you're saying down here, right? 79%, so 2,000 votes are in. 79% of you are saying you think we will sign him. Boy, I hope you're right. My word. Wah, wah, wee, wah. Someone saying that you think Gyökeres would have chosen us for the Champions League. Yeah, I think Delap would have as well, so you may not even have had a Gyökeres conversation. Or actually, you may would have signed Delap and Gyökeres, and then Hojlund leaving as well. Don't know. Strategic market manipulation, you're calling it, Ant. Either way, United are acting differently this summer to a strategy, and they've succeeded 3 times, and they're trying to make it 4. And the latest is, I've heard nobody of any note saying the personal terms are agreed, but United are certainly trying to get him to push Brighton into considering selling him, because Brighton do not want to sell. Right? That is for sure. Speaking of selling, segue. Let's speak about sales, and let's speak about an important one. Someone down there saying Baleba overrated. Here we go. There's always someone trying to get a little nibble. Hojlund, right? Rasmus Hojlund does not want to leave Manchester United. He's made that abundantly clear. And Manchester United have made it abundantly clear that they want to sell him. Let's run through this from the article. From the Athletic, right? Milan are interested in Hojlund, and United are open to a loan move. Okay? AC Milan are interested in a move for Rasmus Hojlund, with United willing to sanction a loan exit for the striker with a substantial fee if they cannot get an acceptable price. willing to sell him just over 30 million. And then I think a loan fee multi-million pound loan fee, right? But United want to move Hojlund on. Now, I'm interested to know where you stand on this. Because something I said over the weekend, which I absolutely stand by the way, is if you were looking at players last season who United fans scorned the most, I think I'd go Hojlund. He was one of the first names out for a lot of United fans. And now, this summer, when you see United going out and signing a top-level striker in Šeško, there's now so much noise saying don't sell him. Can't get rid of him. United are making a mistake. It just feels like there's certain, that's what I mean, like certain people just exist for not controversy, they exist for confrontation. If something happens, you won't look at the 99% you got right, they'll criticize the 1% you got wrong. There's always an angle to go, There's always an angle to create almost like an argument or a debate over it. People just love holding on to it. I want you to let me know down here, right? Do you think United should move Hojlund on? Do you think United should move Hojlund on? I'm going to put yes on loan, yes, sell him, no, keep him. All right, 3 options. I'm going to go down and read the chats out here. The mentality of fans doesn't translate onto the pitch. It's not really what I asked. I've always said we should keep Hojlund for one more season, says Tyler. I hope he looked better than him last season, but he hasn't had a look in. Not currently, no. I think with Hojlund, it would be very easy to keep him. And not necessarily a mistake. Better environment, better players around him, etc. All the stuff I've said about Šeško, the same would apply to Hojlund. Moving Hojlund on this summer, and especially when he doesn't want to, but the club thinks it's right, and maybe they need the money, maybe whatever it is, there might be a strategy to it. That's a ruthless decision. I would say ruthless decisions are ones which not everyone will always agree with. If you get a unanimous Sancho, for example, moving Sancho on, it's the least ruthless thing in the world. It's like, well, yeah, obviously, like, get him out of my club. But a ruthless decision is one that, should you? And then it proves to be correct. And you look back at it and go, actually, they made the right call there. Wasn't exactly what I thought, but they made the right call. Right, this is what's being reported on him, right? Nathan Salt from Daily Mail saying United want a 4 mil loan fee. Option to buy 39 mil. I mean, that's lucky. I mean, I think the reason he's done that is because the book value of Hojlund is 43 million, isn't it? In terms of PSR. If he goes for any less than that, it goes down as a loss. Let me see what you're saying down here. Loan him and let him show us how good he can be for next season. I prefer a sale, says Darren, but a loan is probably the only viable option. I have a feeling the Hojlund will produce this year. There's about 10 players we should sell before Hojlund. He's only 22, lads. Played better in his last few games. Manny saying Hojlund was robbed by Ten Hag. Never brought to lead the line. Then got stuck with 2 sods like Rashford and Garnacho outside him. Unfortunately, his reputation was destroyed before it was formed. Well, I thought he had a pretty good first season. Saying that, he didn't score in the Premier League until Villa, and then went on that run, didn't he? And then got injured. That was annoying. But he scored goals in the Champions League. I think it just makes sense. I think if if United weren't struggling so much to sell bloody anybody or move anybody on, then maybe the conversation doesn't exist around Hojlund. Maybe. It's all hypothetical here. But it is. And we've struggled to move anybody on. The only money that we've made this summer is through sell-on clauses from players that we sold in previous summers. That's how bad the summer's been when it comes to sales. Let me see what you're saying in the votes here. It's got 1,300 votes are in. 41% of you are saying let him move out on loan. 31% of you are saying yes, sell him. And 28% of you are saying no, keep him. So it's quite close. It's quite a split fan base. I think if he goes out on loan, personal feeling, I think if he goes out on loan, he doesn't come back. No club really is going to... Right, think about this, right? The only way... the only way Hojlund would come back to United, if he goes out on loan, would be if he had a cracking season. And the only way that the club who signs him on loan is going to keep him is if he has a cracking season. So if he plays that well, they're not going to just go, well, there you go. We developed him for a year. United, you can have him back now. They're just going to buy him. And if he doesn't have a good season, United fans won't want him back. I do not think that we will see, if Hojlund leaves, even on loan, I do not think that we will see him in a United shirt again. Someone's saying Delo did it at Milan. I forgot. That's like a random pub quiz question. What club did United loan Diogo Delo out to? I think I'd know that. Did quite well, didn't he? Someone's saying he's still young enough to learn. I'm open to selling him. Someone says down there, Big Perm. I don't think Hojlund staying would be a good thing for him. I mean, he wants it. And that's where I feel for Hojlund a little bit, right? Because you know how much I keep going on about the fact that we should have players who want to play for this football club. Like, Hojlund is... It almost feels like desperate to stay. Like, please, please, please don't sell me. Like, I'm this new Carrington. I'm seeing Šeško coming in. I'm seeing Cunha. I'm seeing Mbeumo. I'm seeing him go after Baleba. I believe in Amorim. I can see behind the scenes this club is finally ready to start steering itself in the right direction. And he wants to be part of that. By the way, that wasn't me asking you the pub quiz question. I know it's AC Milan because somebody already said that. Anyway. I think United should be moving Hojlund on if we need that money and it's going to be part of our plans to A, fund what we've already done, or B, fund Baleba. I imagine probably the former, really. It depends on how good a deal United can get. If it's a low ball loan, then keep him. Look, I think United should move him on. I think it's the right thing. Just immediately makes me feel more hungover. Speaking about Jadon Sancho. Oh, Rome has inquired about him. How many times have we just seen just nonsense around this guy? Oh, Juve are close to getting him. And we all thought that was finally getting some movement. He's actually might be taking a wage cut. This is finally some... No. Dortmund. Dortmund will just blue ball him, man. They'll tease him. And then not just do nothing. Man, I wish that we could finance just cancelling his contract, man. Really, really do. And Garnacho as well. Wow. I wouldn't put Garnacho. Sancho's in his own category. Out on his own. Isolated. In the wilderness. That's how much of a dick he is. Garnacho, I think, has not acted very well this summer. I think he's acted immaturely, and I think he is immature. And I think it's just playing out exactly like that. He wants to join Chelsea. We're waiting for the bid. 50 mil. We know you've got money. Here's Madueke. Here's all all the bloody in the same way that all the deals in the market made it more difficult for United to negotiate about Mbeumo, and then we ended up paying what Brentford wanted. That's exactly what we should be doing here with Garnacho. So many examples of all these players who are going for ridiculous amounts of money. You're not having them for less than 50 mil. That might mean 40 mil now and a big sell on percentage clause. I don't know. No movement on that front. But United, we've been trying all bloody summer, man. It's so frustrating. I think I've already asked you this before, but I really, really do hope that this summer and next summer, I hope are the last 2 summers where we're so hampered by the players that we can't sell. It feels like it will be these 2 summers. I might be wrong. But I'm really bored of it. Let me see. Yeah, Richard, have you heard a rumour about Garnacho smoking a vape? I saw that. I think he was getting a tattoo and he had a vape in his hand. He's just immature, man. That's all it is. Which is mad, really, considering he's got a kid as well. In terms of where he is in life, but in the age he's at, he's very mature. But not really. You know we'll sell Garnacho for 35 mil, get our pants pulled again. Look, I'm fine with taking 35 mil if it's got a big sell-on percentage. You have to make that 15 mil up from when he goes on. Hypothetically, he goes to Chelsea. Incredible. What a player. Gets sold for 80 million. All right, cool. We want 15 mil of that. 80, 10, 20%. Cool. 20% sell-on clause. 25%. Probably not going to get more than 20%. Newcastle should try signing Baleba, then we'll get him. Yes, please. Anyway, Garnacho. Chelsea are still trying to sort of... Chelsea want to lowball us. We have to make sure that it doesn't happen. And I know it's easy to say, and it would be difficult to manage. But I really would rather that we don't accept any low offer, that we don't accept any loan offer, and then Garnacho is kept in and around, just make him train on his own. He can use the facilities at Carrington, loads of space, massive now. But you're not going to be training in the first team dressing room. You're not going to be getting changed in the first team dressing room. You are not a first team player anymore. Your agent was part of the problem. We told you what the price was. It's up to you. Do you want to? And I've already explained this before. And it does sound childish, like you're speaking to a kid. I think you kind of are. If you really do actually want to play in the World Cup, you don't have to wait 5 years for your next opportunity. I suggest you get your agent to do his job, mate. But what are you saying down here? Mania, thank you very much for gifting 10 memberships. Hopefully you're going to be having the interviews for the community manager this week. I'm dead excited. Samir, you're saying we had some difficult characters, but I never hated any United player. Not even Sanchez, but Sancho and Garnacho. I don't hate Garnacho, man. I wouldn't go anywhere near as far as that. As I said, Sancho's in his own category. I think Garnacho's just immature. I think he's got the wrong voices around him. But also himself is way too immature. The amount of times this happened this season, isn't it? Or last season. Garnacho straight in the dressing room, boom, on your phone, boom, on social media. What are other people saying? Switch off from it, dude. It's definitely not for you. There's not really much to gain from that. I don't think so anyway. If you win, go and enjoy it. If it's bad, just stay off. Right, let's speak about goalkeepers because I know what a lot of you want to speak about this. Donnarumma, right? The latest suggestion is this, okay? That United, at this moment in time, are sort of sat there deciding, do we go for experience? Do we go for up and coming? I mean, Sandemon's had a full season last season. His first full season. Is it Antwerp? I think it's Antwerp. In Belgium. But of course, Donnarumma is the Champions League winner. You know the drill. I think his wages would be a problem. You can talk to me about 26 mil. But wages would definitely be an issue. I don't know how United get around that. I don't think his wages would fit the structure that Ineos have put in place. I don't think there's any signing that we've made under Ineos that has earned more than 200 grand a week. And that includes bonuses. Yes, we do have an FPL. I'm going to get that Fantasy Premier League sorted and up and running again this season. We'll do some more prizes. Definitely going to be doing that, all right? So keep an eye out on Discord, and I'll probably pull it up into the show here, and I'll give you the league code, right? We should not go near a goalkeeper without selling one. Not one inquiry for buying there. All summer long. Onana was a little bit different because he got a hamstring injury. I don't think United have actually been actively trying to, even though I think we do. I think we should. Donna's wage is huge. It'll be a problem, someone said down there. He's got plenty of mistakes in him. I suppose every goalkeeper does, right? Every goalkeeper does. What are we saying down there? Who's going to pay north of 30 mil for Onana? I thought if Onana was going to go, it would go to Saudi. That's what I thought. Jonathan O'Driscoll saying, what kind of prizes, Sam? I don't know. No idea. We do some kits. Do some cash. Do some fun stuff. We'll just kind of manage it across the course of the season. Little spot prizes, maybe a prize at the end for the winner. And actually run it properly this time. Ant, you're saying, Donnarumma, the real question is why are they bidding? I wouldn't say it's bidding, but it's quite simple. They're not giving him a new contract. Or he doesn't want to renew. He might be like, well, I've won the treble now. Won the Champions League. I've done everything I need to do now in a PSG shirt. Anyway, United, as it stands, are yet to decide whether to go for experience or for up and coming. So we don't quite know that. Someone down there saying, can we get Donnarumma on a loan? You might be able to do a loan with an obligation. That's a possibility. That's a possibility. I thought this is a good idea from Manchester United, saying that United are exploring the viability of organising a behind-closed-doors friendly against a local rival this week to give Onana and Sesko some real-world training ahead of the Premier League opener. Onana better not start against Arsenal. I'm not saying that just because I'm scarred from last season, which I definitely am. But you can't have him coming in against Arsenal, man, when he's not played any. I know that's the idea of playing a behind closed doors friendly, and I think it's a good thing. It's a smart thing. But no way can his first game be Arsenal on the opening day of the season. You're kidding me. But then I look at Bayern there and I go, I look at Tom Heat and I go, well, I'll probably choose you right now. Yeah, I did see Relic Vitek in his debut. Who did he join? Join some in the Championship. I think play against Sheffield United. Sesko does have his full interview today. No, Bind is definitely not better than Onana. They are both equally as heartburn-inducing to watch in a United shirt. That's what I get watching both of those goalkeepers. Imagine what the players must feel. Someone saying Donnarumma's wage. Quite a lot of you are saying about the wages, right? Clearly, at Bristol, that's who we joined. Thank you very much. The wages are the biggest issue with Donnarumma. I don't really know how you get around those, and especially because I suppose it doesn't matter because he's not a free agent. He'll be a free agent next summer. We'll see. But for sure, today's main story and the main story for the rest of this window for United really is around, can we somehow sign Carlos Baleba? United are certainly doing everything that they can. They're pushing and they want him to basically hand in a transfer request. That's what United are aiming for. I don't think they'll get that. But look, I'm going to wrap that one up for today because we've got a busy week here on United People's TV Towers. I'll tell you some stuff we've got planned. We've got Carlos Baleba full story. We'll go out at lunchtime today. We've also got a little mini doc coming out before the season starts by Amorim's Manchester United 2.0. What can we expect this season? What changes do we need to see? What can we take from that? I think you'll enjoy it. It's kind of our season preview video. We're also going to have a season predictions video that's going out. We're also going to have a video on how Sesko, Cunha and Mbumo work together. Also got a video, need to try and find space for this one, about Kobe and his role, looking at it from a tactical perspective. And bloody hell, there's more on top of that as well. Make sure you subscribe if you're new. If you can, please do drop a like on the video. It makes a big, big difference. Don't go to festivals on Sundays. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Take it easy, everyone.